Hey, 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 hey. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Regardless of where you're joining me from, it's a minute or two past 7 o'clock in my neck of the wood, and it's time to connect. All right, so it's great to have everybody join us today. And it's the 10th day of May 2026. So how you doing? How's everything doing? I want to know that you can hear me clearly on YouTube. We've also activated the comment button on YouTube, so I'd like you to run to the YouTube platform right now, and post a comment. I also want to know if you can hear me clearly on Facebook, right? Post a comment, and then let's go, let's go. We have an amazing and exciting episode today, and it promises to be absolutely um, phenomenal. All right, absolutely phenomenal. So we're getting started um, right now. All right, so I want to see the comments. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. I want to see the comments. I want to see you on Facebook. I want to see you on LinkedIn. All right, I'm checking the dash right now. I want to see. I want to know that you're good. And reach out to me. Reach out to me. How's everybody doing? How's the month of May been? I hope it's been phenomenal. I hope it's been good so far. And the month has been yielding amazing results to you. I'm pretty excited because we're counting down to the to the 29th of the month, where we'll be holding the AU Value Exchange Program. And it promises to be super amazing. It promises to be fantastic. I'm going to be talking about that in a bit, but I want to know that you are right there with me. If you can hear me, you can see me. Send a message, put a comment in the comment section. All right. So, two things I want you to do. Number one, post a comment. Let me read from you. Let me know that you're right there. Number two, and I'm looking at the dashboard right now. Number two, share this video right now with all your friends and enemies, and it's amazing. Today is the second episode of our Value of Game series, the second episode of the Value of Game series. And the way that it's going, right, we're going to be looking at and I like this second episode because it's actually a question somebody asked me, and that's where the thought for this came. Why do people get paid and others don't? In other words, why are people considered as more valuable than others? And I've said many times, right, that life is hinged on the premise of value exchange. You've heard me say that. Life is hinged on the premise of value exchange. And so, why is it that every time that you give value, based on how the value that you give is received, that's what determines the value that is given? It's called a reward. Your salary is a reward. The commission is a reward. The speaking fee is a reward. The consulting fee is a reward. It's called a reward. And every time that you have a reward is a directly correlated, right? Positively correlated to the nature in which the value that you're offering is received. So it's not just about the value that you're offering. I will get to that in a bit. All right. So it promises to be amazing. But right now, I want to just dedicate a bit of time. If you're there, let me know. Let me hear you. I want to read from you. So go to the comment section. If you're on YouTube, I want to know that the YouTube page has been the comment section in the YouTube page has been activated. All right. So do a search for Nia Kanusora on YouTube. And I'm doing that right now on my mobile device. Right. So I'm going to YouTube right now and I want to see that um we're streaming as we ought to be. All right, so just give me a moment. I'm going to be right there in a bit. Okay. All right, so I see that. Yes, we are live. Let me see the comment section. All right, great. Okay. All right, so I can see that. uh all right. Awesome. So my chat has been activated. Oh, great. Oh, fantastic. So I'm really happy about that because for a while we couldn't have chats on YouTube, but a bit of work was done on that during the course of the week, and chats were activated. Okay, so awesome. All right, we like that. Okay, So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it, ladies and gentlemen. It's super great to be here. And again, like I said, if you're on the blue streets of Facebook, if you're on YouTube, send me a message, post a comment right now. Say hello, say hi. Let me know you're there. I'm about to start the session. You have the opportunity to also share this right now with as many people as you can because I am about to start the session. It's the second episode of the Game of Value series, which is the series for the month of May, and and it's this episode is all about the economics of value, or if you like, the economics of reward. Okay, so I'm going to go. Let me share. I started something last week where I started doing slides, and I think it's the feedback I got is that a lot of people loved it, and I'm like, okay, so we're gonna get into it in a bit. All right, so I think my slides are gonna come up. All right, excellent, excellent. So there we are, there we are, we are, there we are. All right, so before we start, right, I want to take a moment to formally announce that the a 2026 edition of the Ania Kanusor Value Exchange Program is coming up on the 29th of May by 10 a.m. All right, so we're gonna have one platform, four speakers, thousands of participants, probably two moderators speaking to many things, and the theme. All right, each of the speakers have a subtopic they're going to be dealing with, but the theme for our session, the theme for our session for the program is building systems that make performance inevitable. Building systems that make performance inevitable. So I want to take a time out. The link is in my bio on Facebook. The link is in my bio on Instagram. There's a WhatsApp, there's a thriving WhatsApp community that's being built right now. Once you register, you are ported to the WhatsApp community, and then you get regular updates. I come in there once in a while to have conversations with the folks there. You have people driving that process. It's really exciting. The level of energy that we're getting from the room right now is really fascinating. I have had several calls with the speakers, and they are prepped. They are fine. We can't wait series. Um, okay, we seem to have a bit of okay, great. We seem to have a bit of connection issue. If you can hear me, let me know. All right. Okay. All right. So we're looking at why people get paid and others don't. The second episode of our Games of Value series. And I want to know that I can be, if you can hear me, please do indicate that you can hear me. I want to be sure that I'm being heard right now. Okay, so we're looking at why people get paid and others don't, and it's really about understanding the economic of value. What is the economic of value? And I said that look, you must for you to understand the economic of value, you must understand that value is a reward. What you get in exchange of value is value. So there's value exchange, all right, and that's very important. And we spend a whole lifetime talking about that, but I just want that to be a part of what I'm sharing with you today. But beyond that, there's something called the economics of value, which otherwise, in the context of our conversation, can be translated to the economics of reward. So if you switch value to reward, you understand exactly what I am saying. But you see, let me start from here, and my time is running. The world is not fair. And no one is going to ever argue with you about that. The world is not fair, ladies and gentlemen, but it is predictable. Yeah, some things don't seem to make sense. Some things don't seem to go right. But life is predictable, and you've got to wonder. All right, in many regards, you've got to wonder why is it that some people are highly rewarded, some people are highly sought after. Some people are highly compensated. I mean, if you have whatever, regardless of whatever industry that you're in, whatever sector that you're in, whatever space that you operate in, you just hear a name and man, this person is in high demand. Everybody wants to work with this person. Everybody wants to hear this person speak. Everybody wants this person on their team. Everybody wants this person in their club. Everybody wants this person, around them. And then you hear that such a person is so paid for an hour. I mean, I mean, you're literally what you earn at your desk in a month. The person ends in 1 hour, and you're wondering, how am I earning in 30 days what someone else is earning in 1 hour? All right, and don't get mad, but that's just the way it is. I heard a statement. Um, I heard a statement about how and why being valuable is so important, right? And it was my friend, I think it was William, that mentioned this, and he said, "Look, life is free. God is giving you life, but living is not." And because of all the economic attendance of living, you have to be able to ensure that your value is premium, so that your value is highly rewarded. Did you get it? All right? I'll come back to that in a bit. But as you can see on the screen, the question is, why are some people highly rewarded? Why are they highly compensated? And this is where I want you to focus a bit on. While there are others that have commensurate effort, are many times as gifted, or maybe even more gifted, carry within themselves um, um, talents and dispositions that deliver work, but they struggle. Why? 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 They struggle. Why? Why is that so? And I'm thinking to myself, right, that this has got to be for many reasons. One of the things I've come to do working with people and working with organizations, that one of the things I've come to learn is that, look, sometimes people remain underpaid. And I'm going to be very brutal and very straight to the point with you in today's episode, right? People are underpaid for many reasons. Number one, your skills are average. So what you know how to do, you're good at it, but you're not great at it. You're okay at it, but you're not good enough at it. You can get the job done, but beyond that, that's exactly what you can do. Get the job done. The job done. You can't change the narrative. You can't change the story. You can't innovate. You can get the job done. In other words, you're a task completer and not a co-creator. And so chances are that in the scheme of things, dealing with limited resources and the relationship between ideas, outcomes, and resources, you're likely to be underpaid, or your pay is likely to be limited. Another reason why you could find yourself in that box is, and we'll talk about each of these as we go on. Another reason you can find yourself in that box is if your value is hidden. If your value is hidden, so is one thing to have value, it's another thing for your value to be known. It's one thing to have value, to create value, is another thing for your value to be seen. What isn't seen can't be appreciated. What isn't felt, what isn't recognized cannot be appreciated. And once it can't be appreciated, there can't be an exchange. And once there's no exchange or commensurate exchange, then there isn't a reward. So that's something else. So you're good at what you do, but because nobody knows what you do, because you don't have a system or a channel that allows you to communicate what you do, because you don't have what it takes to be able to deliver what you do, because it's a small circle that knows what you do, uh, your value is hidden. Another reason is that even though you do these things and your value is out there, the impact of it is limited. That means that number one, you're dealing with maybe like a small ecosystem, or a rather insignificant ecosystem. And guess what? They jump in, you do stuff for them, but because they are not even themselves connected to ecosystems, your impact is limited. Listen, once your impact is limited, then there's no chance of capacity expansion. There's no chance of new markets. There's no chance of increased markets or market penetration. There's no chance of that. Why? Because guess what? Just a few people who are probably not even saying much about what you're doing, just a few of them are impacted by what you do. So you have to think about it. And we'll talk about the three tripods that make for value recognition and value reward. We'll get to that in a bit. All right. So just stay with me. And then somewhere along the line, I thought to throw this in. That you must understand that also when you stop growing, your value crashes, because listen, you are growing against a world or in a system that is ever evolving. So your growth many times keeps you at par. But guess what? The real change happens when you are ahead of your industry. So now imagine what happens when you are behind where the sector that you're in. So, and once you're behind, your level of impact is mitigated, your influence is mitigated, and then your reward, therefore, which is a function of the perception of the value that you're creating or delivering, which determines the value that is exchanged for what you have given, which then reeks or speaks loudly in the nature of the reward that you get. This is how many people remain underpaid. This is how many people remain underpaid. But let's move forward. But this is who you want to be. And if you're getting some value right now, I want you to just type in the comment section and just tell me what you're getting right now. If you have any questions so far, feel free to also get to the comment section and type in that comment section. And of course, remember to share this video right now on your platforms. I can't say it enough. All right, I can't say it enough. I'm just going to even take a pause right now and just post out the link in a couple of groups down in as well. All right, so I see activity on Facebook. I see people on LinkedIn. I see people on. Okay, just hold on a second. I'm gonna get this done. I'm trying to share the link to this video. Then I'll get back to teaching. All right, I get back to teaching. Okay, so just give me a second. I'll be right down. I'll be done in a minute. I'll be done in a minute. Okay. All right. So this is who you want to be, really. I already talked about how. I already talked about how the reason why I think people get underpaid, and it's not necessarily about what I think. It's also what I've seen in the length of my career. But this is who you want to be. Number one, you want to become someone who's highly sought after. What does it mean to serve? Someone who's highly rewarded. Someone who's highly rewarded is someone who creates what we call exceptional value. And exceptional value is created when you solve significant problems. So you can't create exceptional value with a ubiquitous solution that can be found everywhere. I mean, who's going to reward you for that? For what can be everywhere? So think about it. Another kind of person that you want to be is to be highly sought after, where it's a function of, and I keep on saying there are three levels. There's the level of what you do, there's the level of how you do what you do, and then there's the level of who you are. When what you do and how you do come together, it delivers who you are, so that they're no longer looking for somebody to do consulting work on business development. You're looking for an Aneka. You're no longer looking for someone to do change management in the financial sector. You're looking for Fela Grotoy. You're no longer looking for somebody to drive you transformation towards business building and entrepreneurship. You're looking for an Elisha Marman, and the list goes on and on. Where you are no longer just somebody doing something, you are an identity, you're a brand, you're a name that is renowned for getting a job done. All right, and that comes really from the place of when the demand for you exceeds supply, and the demand for you exceeds supply because the unique nature of your delivery cannot be found everywhere. Everybody may need it, but you are not available to everybody. So you want to be very highly sought after. You want to be very highly sought after, and that's very critical. And that requires positioning. And we'll probably will get into more of that conversation as we go along. Another thing that you want to be is you want to be highly compensated. Yes, so you want to be very highly compensated, and I think that's so important. Being highly compensated, that means you. But bottom line is that you scale your impact beyond at a certain level. You deliver value that commands premium. Number two, you also have a system around your value delivery that ensures that you can generate serial, what we call serial revenue as regards the value that you're bringing forward. So that's very important. So three things that you want to be. All right. Number one, you want to be highly rewarded. Number two, you want to be highly sought after. And number three, you want to be highly compensated. Very, very important. Very, very important. So let's look quickly at what I call the economics of reward, or the economics of value. Reward or value increases when three things increase. Number one, when the level of your skill goes up from threshold to differentiating. In other words, what you can do effectively, what you're great at, not just what you're good at. When you move from good to great, chances are that your reward goes up. Your reward goes up when there's a level of scarcity. In other words, how rare your value is. Your value cannot be ubiquitous, it cannot be everywhere. Number three, and listen to this very importantly, your value goes up or your reward increases when you scale. And in the context of scalability here, I'm speaking to how many people you can affect within the scope of what you do. How many people, no matter how good your cooking is, if only three people, if you only have three customers, and only the three people come and they will pay, how much can that jollof rice be? They will pay what they will pay for it. After those three, if nobody else, if you cannot create a market that serves and delivers to 3,000 or 30,000, however gifted you are, however nice your jollof rice is, you're not going to be highly rewarded. So three things, note that please. Skill, scarcity, scale. I'm going to say that again. Skill, scarcity, scale. One more time. Skill, scarcity, scale. Let's dive in. Let's dive in quick. Let's talk about skill. Let's talk about skill for a bit. What's the time? 7:28. Let's talk about skill. All right. So you have common skills, you have rare skills, you have threshold skills, we mean bottom line skills, and then you have differentiating skills, skills that set you apart. All right. So common skills. What are common skills? Many people have them. There are skills that at every level you will have, but it's what the rare ones are the differentiators. So many people have them. You can type, everybody can type. You can drive, everybody can drive. You can generate a report, everybody can generate a report. But can you analyze and interpret a report? There were many people that had dreams in the time of Joseph, but Joseph had the rare skill of being able to interpret dreams right. So it's not your common skills that deliver the overflow to you, it's your rare skills. And the definition here is that look, few people have rare skills, many people have common skills. Your common skills will deliver average outcomes, average results, nothing spectacular. Like I said, you get the job done. If you are the most regular award for the most regular get the job done guy, that's you. That's you. Peace to the world. That's you. But if you're looking for the most outstanding, the most phenomenal player on the team, no, you need to possess rare skills. So everybody can present. But there's that person that has an edge. One of the things that happened was as when I was growing up in my career, right, I had the gift of the gab, or I have the gift of the gab and ability to be able to focus my presentation, my communication, to structure it, to deliver, understanding the tonality, understanding everything that has to do with communication. Even though there were those that were on my team that were always doing presentations and doing pitches and speaking to clients and to management and to the board, people found out after a little while, just a short while, every time you wanted the best outcome, send an echo. Common skills can get you to the door, but rare skills keep you at the table. Somebody writes that down. Common skills may get you to the door, but rare skills, all right, rare skills keep you at the table. Keep you at the table. Keep you at the table. Because look, let me tell you what happened. With common skills, you are easily replaceable. Everybody can do it. So if there's something wrong with you, we're not going to cry. We're simply going to get someone to your commodity. You're commoditized. So if all that you have is something that everybody has, then it's not a function of whether you are there or not. We simply get somebody else to fit in to deliver what you have. But hear me, if what you have cannot be found easily, you become hard to replace. Yeah. You become very, very, very hard to replace. Very, very, very hard to replace. All right, very, very hard to replace. And it's so important that you get that. All right. Again, like I said, and at this level, with your common skills, you just get standard reward, standard value reward. But with rare skills, look, that's why a generalist is recognized. A specialist is highly recognized and compensated. You don't want to be a generalist, right? You don't want to be a generalist. There are many people that know, and how do I put this? There are many people that know a lot of things. Very few people understand them and know what to do with what they know. So many people know stuff, but few people know what to do with what they know. The ones that know what to do ultimately dictate to the ones that just know. Because the ones that just know, more often than not, do not understand. The one that understand is able to take it and apply it in a way that those that just know will not have to follow along. Skill is very, very important. Pay attention to skill. Listen, do not in any way downplay on the skills that are required for you to get ahead in life, for your business to grow, for your support to be stronger, for you to create and generate and deliver value. You have to pay attention to your skills. You have to be in a state of continuous learning, which is kaizen. You have to be able to take responsibility, all right, for the fact that gaps must be covered. You have to know well enough to know what not to do. You have to know what to do and know what not to do, and you have to find how best you're able to apply them. I've always said that look, when it comes to skills, right? It's one. Yes, it's great to have business understanding. It's great to be able to build a business, but I also need you to have skills. I may spend more of my time focusing on business growth and not, but please, can I tell you something? Your skills are so important. Don't just be a generalist. There are things that I do. There's a way that I deliver what I deliver that, trust me, it will be hard to get another that will be able to deliver just as well. So you have to pay attention to that. All right. And this is so important because this next question I want to ask you is something I want you to sit down, think about, and be able to find answers to. And the question is this: what am I becoming exceptionally good at? What am I becoming exceptionally good at? You've got to ask yourself that question because around there is the point of your recognition, is the point of your premium, is the point of who you are. And so you've got to be able to answer the question: what is it that you are becoming exceptionally good at? Because the world doesn't have time for what you're just good at. There are many people in this borderless world that we're in. There are many people who are good at what you do. What makes you stand out? What makes you different from them? Look, you have to think in terms of differentiation. All right, it's very, very, very important. Very, very important. So figure out, it was a mentor of mine that said many days that if you give practice to what you're good at, to what you're not necessarily particularly good at, you get good at it. But if you give practice to what you are good at, because there's the dynamics of improvement and growth, you'll become great at it. And that greatness is literally what is the bare minimum that the world or the market has time to tolerate. Yeah. So let's go from skill to scarcity. Remember, we're talking skill, scarcity, and skill are three things that must be in place for you to be highly rewarded. Remember, we're talking about why people get paid and others don't, hinging heavily on the economics of value, or if you like, the economics of reward. All right. So scarcity speaks for itself. It's basically how rare your value is. And listen, in all things, and I say this all the time, in everything that you're doing, whatever sector you're in, whatever industry that you're in, whatever organization you work for, whatever type of work that you do, deliver your work in a way that no one else can deliver. And it has absolutely nothing with backstabbing, with snitching on others, with any untoward behavior. No, I'm saying build up yourself, understand what you do. There's nothing I do. I am absolutely confident. No, listen, let me tell you something. I am everywhere I go. Even today, I get certain feedback, and it's all glory be to God. But I want you to understand that I take what I have available to me, even the grace of God, and I put it to work in such a way that it delivers a level of me that is hard to match, talk less of bits. In other words, I am good at what I do. But the truth of the matter is, can you say same for yourself? So you've got to go, and the message here is really very simple. Um, Common skills will create average outcomes, and nobody respects average outcomes. Nobody, guys, listen. Nobody respects average outcomes. Everybody only has respect for premium outcomes. Everybody recognizes premium outcomes. Premium outcomes are documented. They send a signal out that a new possibility has arrived. They are barrier breaking, ceiling shattering, limitation lifting. But and what they send to the market is, hey, we can all do better than this. So nobody has time while people are breaking barriers every day. Nobody has time to look at an average outcome. And there's no way that you're going to get a premium outcome unless you have rare skills. Rare skills that have been so developed, so polished, so grown, so so fine-tuned to the point that they are, you know, you truly understand how the wiring of your winning feels and how the equipment of your excellence is to be delivered and utilized and deployed. All right. So that's very, very important. Let's move quickly to scale. I'm looking at the time and I'm pressed for time really. So let's look at scale in this context. And I think this is very, 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 very important. You see, when I talk about scale here, all right, I think it's very important because listen, I think some of you have businesses that are good, and I know a lot of people. I meet a lot of people that have businesses that are great, and it's nice, and they're doing really good and they're doing really great, but they don't have enough people patronizing them for them to do as well as they ought to. So you need to do more. And it's not you're not going to do more because you want to be everywhere at the same time. You're going to do more only when you have the systems that can carry you and deliver more to you. All right. So one-to-one value has its limits. There's no doubt about that. How many people can you talk to? How many can I mean, there are portions of my business, for instance, that are one-to-one, and it's trying, it's limiting. How many one-on-one meetings do you want to have with me? However, if there was a system that deployed, all right, using technology, AI, and leveraging on, a lot of things that ensure that you could go through a process, and many people, multiply, could go through a process that helps their businesses without necessarily affecting or requiring my presence at every location that I'm at. And so you're working through partnerships, through systems, and a whole lot of that, through via collaborations, and a whole lot of that. It's really very interesting. Um, you have to also be able to deliver one to many. Find how to get what you do out to many, what you do out to a greater market. And what that does is it multiplies the reward for you, delivers more revenue for you, delivers more levels of growth for you, and then brings you to a point where you are able to get more. And then what happens with that is there what we call, and I'm sure you've heard this, Samika, you all have now, the economies of scale. As you do more, you get to a point where you are rewarded for doing more. And that's the whole entire concept of, I'm just giving you layman economics, right? I'm an economist, so I'm just breaking it down to you. You are rewarded for doing more, and I think that's very exciting. So we're looking at skill, we're looking at scarcity, and we're looking at scale. All right. Here's the hard truth, guys. And if I was beating around the bush before, I want to say it now. Just what I just said to you, let me say it now. Working hard at something low value does not create high reward unless you scale it. So if you put in, if you're diligent at if you're diligent at great work, if you're diligent at at being there, and what you're working on is of low value, listen to me. It doesn't matter how much energy that you put into it, unless you are able to find channels and media by which you can multi-distribute what you're working on so that more people are paying for it. I give you the example of the jollof rice, right? You cook or you sell a bottle of water. I'm having some water here, all right? You sell a bottle of water and all of that. You have to be able to determine that, look, this water that I sell, max, it is 500 naira. 500 naira is not going to build a new house, buy machinery, pay salaries or not. So you have to determine to yourself, within yourself that, look, how much of this 500, how many 500s do we have to do? One, to break even. Two, to declare the kind of profit that allows us to plow back, that allows us to increase, that allows us to scale and to build exponentially. And then you set the parameters around your answer, analyze it deeply, build a system now, therefore, that can help you deliver the X amount of 500, if you catch my flow, that is required. Because the answer is just very simple. All the work that you do is rewarded when you are able, when you scale it. So the hard truth is this: working hard at something low value will never create high reward for you. It won't. So and the beauty of it is this: this is where the intersection is, right? When you bring high skill, one, be great at what you do. When you build a reputation and your and the demand for you exceeds your availability and so supply, which drives up premium, and then you are able to deliver this great thing that you have, not just to one, but to two, to three, to four, to five, to six, and without reducing or watering down the quality of what you're serving, then you're at the intersection of high reward. And this is the economics of reward. This is the economics of reward. All right? This is the economics of reward. Because you must understand this. And I needed us to say this, right? Position matters. Ladies and gentlemen, let me talk about this for a little while. Position matters. It's not enough for you to be valuable. I say this all the time. Look, listen, value exchange is hinged on people understanding the value that you give. So it's not so your value is important, but it's not enough. Your value is great, but it's not enough. It's critical, but not nearly enough. But hey, what do you mean by this? Listen to this. People must, number one, know the value that you're bringing. Number two, must experience it as being valuable. And number three, they must trust it. Number one, the authenticity of it. Number two, the impact and the outcome of it. Number three, the consistency and sustainability of it. So they must know that you are valuable, that you have value, you carry value. They know you when what you're not. Listen. Can a lamp be lit and hidden under a bushel? In other words, why will you hide what you have? You're good, you're good, you're great, you're great. You've worked hard. You didn't steal what you have. You built capacity. You fired up competency. Why don't you position yourself rightly so the world knows? Because listen, what positioning does for you is that it gives you access to opportunities that allow you to deploy the value that you carry. Positioning matters. Positioning is so important that it brings you to the level of, number one, it generates the right attention for you. Number two, it shifts you to the realm of concentration. Number three, by virtue of the experience that they have and the promise of the experience that you will give, it moves them to the point of decision, which now brings them to the hallmark of utilization and experiencing. So people must know it, people must experience it, and people must trust it. Very, very important. Very, very, very important. They must trust it. So I want you to do a personal audit as I begin to wind down. It's very clear because a lot of people come to me, oh, I could have gotten paid, I could have gotten paid. Look, fact is this. I know what I'm worth. I know what it takes for me to have a speaking engagement. I know what it takes for me to consult for you. I know what it takes for me to and that's because over time I have been able to answer these questions I'm about to share for you. All right, so let's do that quickly. I want you to evaluate yourself as honestly as possible and as brutally honestly as possible as you can. Number one, what skill are you building? Don't. This is not about waving your hands in the air and trying to catch fluff. What skill are you building? What problem are you currently solving? Wherever you are right now, if you stopped working, if you stopped doing what you were doing, who will notice? Will the market even notice? Would your colleagues notice? Would your employer notice? Would your business partners notice? What problem are you solving? Because the next question brings is the heart of what we're discussing. How relevant is your value? Because value is not about the problems you're solving. Value is about your positioning to be the best person that can deliver that problem, that solution to that problem. Because there is no benefiting from your, there's no consideration or talk about the relevance of your value without taking into cognizance who benefits from what you do. Because they are the value determiner. You are the value projector, the value communicator. But you must communicate in such a way that what is received is as you intended and is designed that the exchange that there comes from you is of high compensation, being highly sought after, and being highly rewarded. The personal audit is very key. What skill are you building? What problems are you solving? How relevant is your value? And who benefits from what you do? It's very, very important. Maybe at some time at the end of the month or something, this slide alone, I'll spend an hour talking about it. All right. If you like that, post in the comment section and say, please go ahead, A. Please go ahead. Please go ahead, A. Please. All right, so we're rounding up. 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 Somebody said after all said and done. So okay, here I am. How do I upgrade my value? How do I upgrade my value? It leaves little. It will be remiss of me not to speak of this. Absolutely remiss of me not to speak of this. You have to increase your skill. Your skill level has to go up. Oh, guy, you have to be, madam, you have to be good at what you do. Oh. See. Listen, mediocres are nothing but that. Mediocres. And mediocres don't get compensated. Mediocres don't get rewards. Mediocres don't get huge results. Listen to me. Let's be very, very clear. All right. You must improve your skill. You must improving your skill also means you must improve your relevance. Your relevance is so key. Your relevance is not about solving a problem that I told you I have. The relevance is also about being able to even determine problems that I am yet to understand, and problems that look, even though I'm yet to understand, right? Um, you are able to tell me that I have this problem or will have this problem the way I'm doing. Remember Joseph in the Bible. Listen, Joseph didn't only have the ability to interpret dreams. Joseph was able to interpret a dream that the dreamer could not even remember. So listen, your relevance is not just in solving mundane issues that can be gotten everywhere. Your relevance is in bringing people to an experience of you that is undeniable. And as you increase your relevance, please expand your visibility. Because if I don't know you, if I can't hear you, if I can't see you, if I think of, I say this all the time, if I think of something I want to do, one, two, three, and you are not in my first five, it means that you're not in my sphere of visibility. And if you're not in my sphere of visibility, it's not that I don't like you. I probably like you a lot. But the truth of the matter is that because you're not in the sphere of my visibility, I can't think to do business with you. It's not that I don't like you. I just don't think of you. It's called conditioning and consideration. That's what it's called. So you must expand your visibility. I am not saying do eye service. I am saying ensure that the right attention is given and is received for the value and the work that you do. And many times it's not it is not behove on who you're with or who you're doing stuff for to tell your value. You must communicate your value. You must bring people to a level of understanding of what you carry and what you can do. Expand your visibility. And in my experience, nothing is greater than solving bigger problems. Every time I was going to write, every time I took up a new office, every time I took up a new assignment, every time that I was recognized, my level of notoriety and fame expanded. It was because I took on a bigger role. I solved bigger problems. So I could solve problems for individual. Now solving problems for an industry. I'm talking at national level. Remember what we said about your network, about your ecosystem. And so now I'm not just solving, I'm solving at a point that I'm solving personal issues. At the time I was doing personal development, some individual issues. At a level I was solving organizations and corporate issues. At a level I was solving community issues. Now I'm at a level, by the grace of God, where I'm solving institutional issues. And because it's you're solving bigger problems, you get rewarded more. So please solve bigger problems. It doesn't get more than that. You want me to take it from the top? I will. Improve your skill. Get better at what you do. Purpose within yourself. Accept that there's work to be done. Believe that you have what it takes because you are wired to win and equipped to excel. See, commit to it with great tenacity and resilience to ensure that you give your all to be all that you can be. And indeed, deliver the best version of you per time at every time. Do that. Do that. And you see what the outcomes is. See, increase your relevance, your usefulness, increase your relevance, make your level of dependability rise significantly. When people lean on you, need you, there are people that can't take their next business move. And it's not that, it's the grace of God without referring to my consulting arm. Why? Because I have proven myself relevant to the growth of their businesses, relevant to the diversification and the moves that they made, relevant to their coming out of murky waters and out of tough times, relevant to their ability to be able to thrive in the marketplace, relevant to them being as the best version of themselves. And so at that level, they have a problem that they haven't seen before. The first person they think of is, can I please speak to Aneka Musoro? Relevance. Your visibility. If I can't see you, chances are I don't think of you. If I don't see you, chances are I'm not thinking of you. Expand your visibility, and of course, I want you by all means to solve bigger problems. All right, and this is where I'm gonna call it a wrap for today. This is where I'm gonna call it a wrap for today. But I'm gonna end by telling you again about the AU Value Exchange Program that's coming up on the 29th of May. It's gonna be amazing. Again, I want you to be a part of this by all means. I want you to access the flyers, the e-flyers. Even this week that we're stepping into, we're going to be unveiling our speakers. So we have one event, we have two hosts, we have four speakers and thousands of participants. We have one theme, building systems that make performance inevitable. All right. So people don't have people don't have an effort problem. They have a system problem. People don't have a performance problem. People don't have a people problem. You just have a system problem. I want to fix it because look, listen, if you ever were to give me a nickname, let it be the system builder. Because I have come to see in the course of my career that many people focus too much on the people, they focus too much on the process, they focus too much on the structure, and they don't pay enough attention to the system. As a system builder, I understand exactly where this has to be and what it is that enables other components of your organization. And guess what? It trickles down to the individual, to your personal life, right? And all of that can happen when you understand how to be able to deliver systems for yourself, frameworks by which you can operate that makes your performance, 7-star performance, if you ask me, your 7-star performance inevitable. All right, so it's going to be happening on 29th of May this month. All right, 2026. You don't want to miss it. It's going to start at 10 a.m. It's going to run for about 4 hours or so. It's going to be loaded packet. It's free to you, but it has been paid for by a number of partners, a number of corporate entities that have come together to say, wow, this AU, we have to be a part of this. And I've paid in no small measure. some quite a lot of resources that's coming into this. But this is to ensure that we deliver this to you free of charge. All you have to do is to go to my bio on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook, or whatever platform that you have access to me, and get the link. All right, click on the link, fill out the form, and then you will get to be a part of the WhatsApp community where you get regular updates. You get to be part of the campaign storm. You get to also be as committed as the people. That's all that we ask of you. And then show up, of course, mark your register, tell people and friends, kids and kin about it, enemies and frenemies, tell them all about it as well. And then continue to drive on my behalf, on our behalf. Continue to drive the process, get as many people to be part of what will happen on May the 29th, right here in our virtual space. Um, and it promises to be super, 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 super amazing. So, I have come to the end of today's episode, right? If there are any questions, please feel free to ask. Go ahead and ask whatever questions it is that you may have. Go ahead and ask, and I'll be more than glad, more than glad to respond to them. Thank you to everybody who joined us in our live stream today. Thank you to all our support partners that have made this work every Sunday in and out. And we are counting down again to, first of all, next Sunday when we have the third part of the Game of Value series. And of course, we're counting down to Friday, May the 29th for the AU Value Exchange Program, the 2026 edition. Promises to be super amazing. All right. So thank you so much. I've had an amazing time serving you on our virtual fireside chat. Just sharing with you on why others get paid, why people get paid and others don't. And I hope that if you're in this category, you will switch to that category. And if you're in that category, you get more firmly rooted in that category. Get paid right, get commensurate value for what you do. Do the work, but make sure you communicate the work that you've done. Much more than the work you've done, make sure you communicate with understanding what the work you've done will do for the person that you need to recognize that value. It's not about effort, it's about impact. That's what defines outcomes. The outcomes are not effort based. The outcomes, which speak of value reward, they are all right. They are outcome, impact based. All right. I gotta go. I gotta go. Top of the hour, and here we. I gotta go. Have a great week, everybody. Have a super, super great week. Thank you for joining me again. Have a super great time. Tell the world about the AU Value Exchange Program. All right. Thank you so much, and God bless. It's over for me.